Good evening. Welcome to Old South Meeting House. I am Nat Chidley. I'm the president and CEO of Revolutionary Spaces, which is the nonprofit organization that cares for this building where we are gathered tonight, Old South Meeting House, as well as our sister site, the Old State House, just a couple of blocks up the street from here. This evening, we gather to remember a signal event in the history of our country, the 200th anniversary of the laying of the cornerstone of the Bunker Hill Monument, when then Congressman Daniel Webster and French General the Marquis de Lafayette were the star attractions at an occasion attended by many tens of thousands. They gathered on what was then the 50th anniversary of the Battle of Bunker Hill. Tomorrow, we mark the 250th anniversary of that pivotal battle. So tonight, as we recreate the toasts and musical responses from the laying of the monument's cornerstone, we are in fact remembering an act of remembrance, how an earlier generation of Americans looked for inspiration to the history of the nation's founding during an era of peril and change. And what better venue than this, the Old South Meeting House, the People's House, so pivotal itself as a place of discourse and debate and consensus in the run-up to revolution. Liberty, resilience, and courage were the watchwords then and again today in our ongoing experiment that is democracy. May they continue to be our shared aims going forward as a people and a nation, and may we always be true to the principles of our Constitution and act as worthy heirs to the legacy left to us by our nation's founding generation. And with that, I am pleased to introduce our Grand Marshal, Lee Eiseman, to lead this evening's program. Lee.
I will begin just by reading briefly from a newspaper account of the events of 1825 to set the scene so that we have an understanding of just how important it was to people then. After the Bunker Hill Monument cornerstone was laid with ceremony and pomp on June 17, 1825, before an audience of at least 60,000 on Bunker Hill, the guests and those who had furnished themselves with tickets formed into a procession and moved to the summit of Bunker's Hill to dine. And here a spectacle was presented which baffles description. An awning had been erected, provided with tables and seats. 4,400 plates were set, and not one was unoccupied. The dinner was as good as could be expected, considering it was emphatically provided for an army. After the cloth was removed, the toasts you will hear tonight were drunk, interspersed with music, also reproduced for this occasion. In 1825, the esteemed Mason Walter Janes was the conductor of 1,000 members of the orchestra and chorus. Today we have arranged this music for an ensemble led by Stephanie D., the D Opera Chorus and Orchestra. In closing, the newspaper reported that the bards of the day opined that the dozen-plus odes had been written for the occasion by gentlemen who had successfully wooed the tuneful nine. I didn't know who the tuneful nine were, but they are the Muses: Calliope, Clio, Erato, Euterpe, Melpomene, Polymnia, Terpsichore, Thalia, and Urania. With that, I invite Annette Tetchy, president of the Bunker Hill Monument Association, to offer the first toast.
If I may, just one moment before I read this, is two words were spoken just a moment ago, and that was remembrance. And that's one of the things, one of the purposes of the Bunker Hill Monument Association. The monument, the People's Monument, was built in order to always remember the fallen in 1775. So if I may, the 17th of June, 1775, the marble may molder, but while a heart beats in an American bosom, there will be a tablet from which the record of that day's glory shall never be effaced. Cheers.
You're here. I invite Paul Malagrifa of the Boston Commandery to give the next toast.
The militia. That we may. What more than to pronounce the name Bunker Hill, to proclaim its character to the world. Huzzah! Huzzah!
I invite Peter Lemonius of the Massachusetts Charitable Mechanic Association to give the next toast.
With great honor, may I offer this toast. To the Committee of Safety, the early guardians of our nation's rights, fearless as faithful in the execution of their trust.
I invite John Mitchell of the Massachusetts Grand Lodge of Freemasons to deliver the next toast. Here's an extra full one for you.
I need it. The martyrs of Bunker Hill battle. We inhale the air they breathed. We tread the ground they trod. We surround the altar where their lives were offered. We swear devotion to their cause.
I invite Dan Noonan of the American Legion Conway Bunker Hill Post to address us next.
In the dark and trying hour, we were told the foes that we were never made for slaves.
I now summon George Forrest Hamilton, Grand Master of the Grand Lodge of Masons in Massachusetts, to give the next sentiment.
Washington and Lafayette, the survivors of Bunker Hill battle, the gloom of the day may dwell on their recollection, but in the brightness of this day, they feel they fought under the auspices of heaven. Hear, hear.
We
And now it is the turn of Simone Monteleone, Superintendent of the Boston National Historical Park, to address us.
So the order of the day: a statesman and a patriot who knows no party but his country, who feels no impulse but her welfare. Huzzah.
What a time we live in where anything is possible. Take me, born in New Hampshire, a local barrister, turned statesman. In response to that toast, I will share with you words that are oft credited to me and never more appropriate than today. They are simply, I was born an American, I live an American, I shall die an American.
Lexington and Concord. There the earnest was given that a people resolved to be free can never be enslaved. Huzzah.
Went and joined the army. If I knew then what I know now, I wouldn't have been so balmy. Oh, soldier, we come and live and sing to them, because they wouldn't soldier well. When we got back home again to desert, my intent, sir. I sold my pot and I sold my coat, and over the wall I went, sir. Oh, soldier, we tongue and feather and sent to hell, because they wouldn't soldier well. 'Went to a tavern and I got drunk, that is where they found me. Back to the barracks in chains I was sent, and there they did impound me. Oh, soldier, and we tongue and feathered and sent to hell, because they wouldn't soldier well. 50 I got for selling my coat, 50 for my blankets. If ever I miss for a soldier again, the devil will be my sergeant. Oh, soldier, we tongue and feathered and sent to hell, because they wouldn't soldier well.
Now, if I have this right, Crystal Schaefer, the commander of the USS Constitution, will now intone her sentiments for us.
President John Quincy Adams.
I called Carolyn Beatrice Nutt of the Daughters of the American Revolution.
We remember the Governor of the Commonwealth. Huzzah!
invite Jonathan Lane of Rev 250 to step forward.
The Continental Army, whom victory could not elate, whom defeat could not depress, their cause, their country, their trust, their God. Huzzah.
Thomas Teller of the Cincinnati Society of Massachusetts. Next step forward, please.
Thank you. A 21st century editor's note. The Society of the Cincinnati, created to honor and remember the sacrifice of the militia, toast General Washington silently. Hence, simply, to the memory of Washington.
Since I seem to be working for more than one version here, I would like Stephen Colella of the Ancient and Honorable Artillery to deliver the 14th toast.
To the Continental Congress, the emboldened wisdom of the nation which wrought the freedom of one hemisphere and promulgated the principles which will emancipate the other. Hear, hear.
I beg your indulgence, and perhaps I should give the next toast because I'm confused about the order. Therefore, the Continental Congress, the embodied wisdom of the nation, which wrought the freedom of one hemisphere and promulgated the principles which will emancipate the other. Hear, hear. Hear, hear.
Friends I love the best have departed. The days of my early joys have gone, and the voices once dear and familiar to my ear have faded from the scenes of the earth one by one. The tomb and the battle have laid them low, and they roam no more where the bright streams flow. I'm longing to join them and soon must go, for I'm nothing but a plain old soldier. An old revolutionary soldier, but I've handled a gun where nobody's were done. For the name of my commander was George Washington. For the name of my commander was George Washington.
Will the Reverend Paul Minor, General retired of the Massachusetts National Guard, give his toast to Warren?
Please join me in celebrating the memory of Joseph Warren. His name comes to us as the gentle rain from heaven, refreshing the place beneath. Huzzah! Huzzah!
Why should vain mortals tremble at the sight of death and destruction in the
And now it gives me great pleasure to invite Alan Hoffman of the Lafayette Society of Massachusetts and probably elsewhere to introduce his favorite.
Real wine?
Rum.
Rum. Oh, my goodness. To the honored guest of the day, indeed the nation's guest as he is known, a statesman and a patriot who knows no party but his country, who feels no impulse but her welfare. Health and long life to General Lafayette. Vive Lafayette!
Without any introduction whatsoever, I bring you himself.
Gentlemen and ladies, I will not longer trespass upon your time, other than to thank you in the name of my revolutionary companions in arms and myself in the testimonies of esteem and affection, I may say of filial affection, which have been bestowed upon us on this memorable celebration of this anniversary day, and to offer our fervent prayers for the preservation of that republican freedom, equality, and self-government, that blessed union between the states of the Confederacy, which we have fought and bled, on which rests the hopes of mankind! Permit me to propose the following sentiment. To Bunker Hill and the holy resistance to oppression, which has already enfranchised the American hemisphere, the next half-century's Jubilee's toast shall be to enfranchised Europe!
To liberties and
et messieurs, now that the more formal toasts have been given, are there any amongst this fine gathering here this evening who were in want of giving their own toast? If that is the case, please stand and be recognized and deliver your toast. Monsieur.
General, permit me, sir.
Of course.
A toast to the most glorious flag to ever fly over land, sea, air, and through the vastness of space. Here's to the red of it. There's not a thread of it, no nor a shred of it, in all the spread of it from foot to head. But heroes bled for it, face steel and lead for it, precious blood shed for it, bathing it red. Here's to the white of it, thrilled by the sight of it, who knows the right of it, but feels the might of it through day and night. Womanhood cared for it, made manhood dare for it, purity's prayer for it, keeps it so white. Here's to the blue of it, beauteous view of it, heavenly hue of it, star-spangled dew of it, constant and true. Diadems gleam for it, state stands supreme for it, liberty's beam for it, brightens the blue. Here's to the whole of it, the stars, stripes, and pole of it, the body and soul of it, oh, and the roll of it, sun shining through. Hearts in accord for it, swear by the sword for it, thanking the Lord for it, red, white, and blue.
Bravo! Are there others?
I'd like to offer a toast to the musicians who have made these words immortal in our ears. The musicians.
To the musicians! Yes. Monsieur le Président.
I have another toast.
Of course you do.
Is there an empty one? Oh, another full one? Oh, to General Lafayette. Heaven saw fit to ordain that the electric spark of liberty was to be conducted through you from the new world to the old, and your sentiment a few minutes ago about 50 years from now, the Jubilee will be the victory of American principles in Europe, including your home country, France. Godspeed.
Bravo!
Oh, I get another one.
A toast to my uncle way back, Reverend Samuel McClintock, who was seen praying at the battle, and Lydia H. Sugarnet in the 19th century wrote a poem, The Prayer of Bunker Hill.
Any others, dear friends? Or perhaps oh, yes, please, come forward. You have Bunker Hill upon your chest.
I do.
That is dressed well enough for me.
To liberty. May we always be ready to defend it. May we always be aware that we could lose it.
Well, gentlemen and ladies, I have one last toast, and that is to history. I am a firm believer that all of the answers to the future might be found in the past if we study our history. And let us never forget the great moments in the history of this nation, the sacrifices that have been made in the past, in the present, and that will be made in the future for this great nation of the United States of America.
And now please stand for our national anthem in a tricky version. And now, may all of us who are holding tickets to the Grand Monumental Ball proceed to the Boston Commandery at the Grand Lodge of Masons. Thank you all very much for this moving celebration, for coming.